Hello and welcome to today's webinar with Vahid Shababi on Selling is not about selling, it's about educating. Just so you know, please like us on Facebook at facebook.com/ChampionsWay fans to get the recording and any other updates from us for future webinars and promotions. So today's webinar with Vahid, Director of Sales and Marketing here at Perfect Mind and ChampionsWay, we'll go over that selling is not about selling, it's about educating. Without further ado, we will begin.
Thank you. Thanks everybody for joining me today for today's webinar. Before we start, if you can hear my voice very clearly, just please type yes in the chat box. I just want to make sure everybody can see my screen and also you can hear my voice. Perfect. Awesome. I see a lot of yeses. That's awesome. All right. So I've been asked by many of our clients, friends, colleagues to have a webinar on sales. And those of you who've been working with me, been trained by me on sales, you know I'm big in sales, but I don't like selling in a way that push people to make a decision, just try to make it sweet for them, just for them to say yes, and then you leave them by themselves. Selling is not about selling. Selling is about educating. What do I mean by this? Let's start from the very beginning. To me, sales is not an event. Sales is a process. It's not like a one-time call or one-time meeting or two-time meetings that, hey, I could convince the guy to sign a contract with us. He's on board. Let's do it. No, sales is not about that. Sales is about the process that you go through it. Now, how this process starts is the main differentiator between good salespeople and bad salespeople. Selling is not about pushing. It's about understanding your clients' and prospects' pains and also the needs. Then based on those needs, offer them the best possible solution. That is the difference between telling and selling. Here's my question. How many times when a prospect walks into your school or walks into your business or get on a phone with you, you don't even let them talk. You keep talking and talking and talking and talking about what you like about your services, about why you are the best, but you never actually listen to them. Selling is not about telling. Selling is about problem solving. People hate salespeople. As soon as you hear, okay, a sales guy is coming, you go to Best Buy. As soon as the sales guy is approaching you, you try to avoid them. Why? Because the image that everybody has from a sales agent is pushing, 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 pushing. But if you can change that image and become a problem solver, this is where you can win the sale. This is when you can win a customer. And it won't be, if you go through the right sales process, you will have that customer for a long time. Now, in order for you to become a problem solver rather than a seller, I have a bad news for you. And that's a bad news for any sales agent. You have to shut your mouth and open your ears. That is so tough for salespeople because they like to talk. I personally love to talk. And it's sometimes hard to not actually talk. But if you want to win, you should listen more than talk. Now, when you're listening to them, they always give you hints on what they need. They always give you some uncovered needs that they're not even thinking about it. But because you are expert in that area, you can get that. Then you can start educating them on their needs. Don't push them. Don't offer them something for free just to get their attention. It may work at the end, but at the beginning, you have to listen to them and map their needs with the solutions and the benefits that you're offering. Always talk in terms of benefits. Anything that you want to say, any statement that you want to make, always think, what is in it for them? Never talk about you. Nobody cares about you. Think about them. And also see how your services or your product can resolve a pain for them. For example, a parent walk into your school. You're operating a martial arts school. As soon as they walk in, you start talking about how amazing you are, how amazing your children programs is, talk about your instructor, talk about your fights, talk about, how great person you are. But you don't even think, what is in it for them for me to be a great fighter? How can I address this parent's needs that they walk into the school for a reason? So let's figure out what the reason is. Now, in order for you to become a problem solver, you have to do a few things. You have to figure out what your solutions or your product well, you have to figure out what solutions your product and services will provide to your customers. That comes from the needs. Now, you may have a different perceptions as far as how you can help them, but it's very, very easy. I'm going to give you some quick ways to figure out what will be the best way to approach your clients. Make a list. So you have something as a reference, like make a list of every single benefit that you think you will give to your prospect. Now, the list has to be in terms of their benefits. Never write it, I'm a great, yoga teacher. But you can write it that I help people to be have a flexible body. Never write that I'm a hard worker. But you can write that I help people to be focused. Now, how you can have this list to be accurate? Easiest way. Ask your current satisfied customers what problems your product or services has resolved for them. When they walk in, you see, Jenny is a happy person, has been always happy with your services. You're selling, doesn't matter what you sell. It's a product or it's a service. If you're a gym or you're selling videos, doesn't matter what it is. When you talk to one of your clients, figure out, okay, since the moment that you talk to us, what are you start working with us, what are the problems that has been solved by our services? Can you help me with that? Can you give me 5 of them? Right? That's your first list. Add those to your list. Number 2, ask prospects what solution using a product or service like yours would provide them. You got a web lead. You got an inquiry over the phone. The first question is, what are your pains? What are the things that you are hoping to achieve by hiring me or my company to provide you service? Write down all those. Lastly, ask your former customers when they're walking out of your business, make sure never ruin any relationship. Don't burn any bridges. Let them go. I always say, don't save pennies and stepping on dollars. If you want to give hard time to a person who's leaving you, maybe you're saving pennies, but that person is going to talk to 10 other people. Unhappy client, talk to 10. Happy client, talk to 4. That's the rule of thumb. So when they walk out, hey, I'm just going to make this transition very easy for you. In return, can you please tell me, what were you hoping to get from my services? What are the needs that you were hoping to address with my services and you didn't? Can you help me with that? And then add them to your list. That should be the need and the problems and the solutions that you are helping with the client. Now, let's say you have this list. What is next? When you talk to a prospect, ask questions. When somebody contacts you, say, hey, they're calling you for a reason. I think you all agree with me. If somebody calls you or walks into your business, there should be a reason behind it. But 90% of the people, they don't spend time to figure out what their reason is. Again, I go back to my first example. A parent walks into your school and they're looking for martial art lessons for their kids. 90% of the people start talking when they walk in. How many of you guys actually asked this question? What made you to walk into our school? I'm trying to find a martial arts lesson for my kids. What are you trying to achieve by getting into the martial arts? I'm trying him to be focused, to be disciplined. Perfect. They already told you what they need. You're selling consulting businesses, consulting webinars or whatever. Somebody calls you. What are you trying to achieve by hiring me as a consultant? These are my pains. I want to work with this company to streamline my whatever needs. Now you know what the problem is. You don't have to talk for 3 hours and hoping maybe one of the things that you say makes sense to them. Ask question, then listen. Hardest thing for salespeople, listening. Then when you're talking and trying to talk about the solutions that you have for their pains, always focus on benefits. Never talk about features. Remember, features tell, benefits sell. If you walk into to Best Buy, you're trying to buy a TV. If the sales guys start talking about it, 36 inches TV, it's HD, and start talking some technical words, you have no idea why he's talking about. But if he comes in and say, okay, how big is your room? It's this big. So based on that, you need to have this size of TV. So let's look at the 36 inches. What do you watch the most? I watch movies and sports. Perfect. So you need to have HD because of this. So now I'm talking in terms of benefits because nobody cares about the features. Features will tell, but it won't sell. That's the benefits that will sell. Lastly, never close a customer. Never close a deal. Always your mentality should be open a relationship. I always tell my salespeople, the moment that somebody signs the contract or give you the credit card, that is the beginning. Your sales is over when they give you 5 referrals because they trusted you with their credit card. You better build a relationship. I don't want quick sales. Sales is about relationship. Build a relationship. Help them. If you help people with their needs, they're not going to leave you. Now, based on the list that I said, you have to define your offerings. As I said, when they're on the phone with you, they send you an email, they walk into your business, there is always a reason for them. Before you start talking about you, find the reason, address the reason. They don't really care about what you like about your service or product. I was talking to a friend of mine who's offering the voice over IP phones. And when I said, okay, so what do you offer? He keeps talking about what he likes about his service. He never told me one success story that one of their clients got this different results since they joined them. That is wrong. People, they don't care what you like about your service. That's the story of the people who build a website that they like. They don't really care about the viewers. They don't really care about the customers. They don't really care about the prospect that visit that website. Now, when you want to talk in terms of their benefits, always word them in your client's language. Don't you hate when you walk into the doctor office, they start using some technical words that we all have to Google that when we leave the office to see if we're dying or not, right? But we love the doctors that actually make it simple. They draw, pictures and, they make it dummy proof for us to understand. That's me, right? I hate it. Then I have, every time that he's talking, I have to take notes on my iPhone and to be able to Google that afterwards to see what's wrong with me. Never use technical. Use it simple. Outcome of your offering should end with the benefit for them. It shouldn't be about you. It shouldn't make you the hero of the story. It should make them as, hey, this is a big picture. If you join me, if you hire me, if you get with me on this service, this is what you're going to have at the end of it. And remember, the most important thing in sales, you have to create value. I will talk about the value in the next few slides. How many of you guys have a fear of hearing it's too expensive from your prospect? If you're on the same boat, or if you have this problem with any of your employees, please type yes in the chat box that they have a fear of hearing it's too expensive. Okay? I see a lot of yeses. You know why? Because you don't look at the value. Because you don't create a value. In this world, nothing is expensive. Let me tell you this. Nothing is expensive. People expect higher quality with the higher prices, right? It's not about the price. It is about the value. I always use this example. Every time one of my sales guys comes to me and say, but it's too expensive. I'm like, can I have $500? And he's like, why? I'm like, for this pen. He starts laughing. Then I ask the exact same question. Can I have $500? So for what? I give him my car key. So like, are you serious? I'm like, the 500 didn't change. It's the same thing. The value has been changed because the pen is tangible. It's not worth the $500. And also the car is tangible. It's worth more than $500. So at the end of the day, if you feel your service is expensive, that means you haven't seen the value for your service based on the price that you put it. Either you need to modify your service to create value, or you need to change the price based on that. Now, your price is a communicator of your service and quality, right? It's all about the quality. Never think about what you're asking. Always think about what you're giving, right? So if somebody walks into your yoga studio and you want to ask for $200 a month and you have a fear, he's a single mom, she's a single mom, she has 2 kids, $200, seriously, it's too expensive. No, don't think about that. Why don't you think about if she spent $400 a month and put 2 kids in your yoga studio, at the end of the day, she's purchasing an insurance for their kids. They're going to be healthy. They're not going to be into drugs. They're not going to be into anything. Any parents would spend $400 as an insurance for 2 kids. Think about what you're giving. Never think about what you're asking. The people who think about what they give, they can ask for money. Never disvalue your service. Nobody will disvalue the service because of you. So why do you disvalue your service? If you feel your service is expensive, that's a different story because you don't see the value. Create some value for it. Now, before I go to the next slide, which I'm going to talk about objections, I'm going to talk about the difference between a service and a product. For those of you who are selling service, the impression that you give, the professionalism that you have, it's everything, right? Let me give you an example. I'm pretty sure we all had it. We love a singer or an artist because we love the music. We hear to their songs. We always, listen to them when we're driving. It's been repeating on our iPhone in the office. We love it. We listen to it 100 times. And one concert is enough for us to stop listening to that person. I'm pretty sure it happened to everybody. Because there is one difference. That's the difference between product and a service. A service is only as good as who's providing them. So maybe that singer didn't act professional. Maybe he sat by the piano entire time with no eye contact. So you're like, I can't even listen to the tracks. Why should I go to the concert? So if you are offering a service, remember this. A service is only as good as who's providing them. And that's you and your staff. So make sure what you're providing worth the price, what your clients are paying. Now, let's talk about objections. Objections are uncovered needs and unanswered questions. That's what objections are. If anybody comes to you and say it's too expensive because you didn't create value. If somebody comes and say the time is not perfect because you didn't create urgency. If somebody comes and I have to check with my wife because you couldn't sell them the value. If somebody comes to you and say, I just want to check 2 other places because they couldn't find you unique, that you can answer their needs. So objections will be there only either you fail in uncovering the needs. So in the initial stage, you couldn't find out what the needs are. You didn't ask proper question, or you didn't listen. Or maybe you figured out that part, but you failed in offering and educating them on the best possible solution. It could be either or. It's no other way. If you can find out the needs and map them with the solution, it's a done deal. Never ignore objections. Never go around them. Address them. I hate the salespeople who just hoping this guy is not going to ask this question. Because if they don't ask you, they're going to ask their wife, they're going to ask their husband, they're going to go home and talk to 3 other people, they're going to ask your competitor. It's better them asking you and you answer those objections. At the end of the day, again, it's not about the price, it's about the value. The people who are not confident to ask for money based on the service, that means you haven't sold them the value for your service. I'm going to talk about who you need in your team. Now, you always have to consider the buyer's behavior as well. You have 4 different personality. That actually works in your life as well. You have fighters who has a fear of losing. They always want to be in the control. Even you can see it in your friends. They want to be in the control. You have to give them control. Even in buyers, you have to make them feel that they are in the driver's seat. You have to drive them, but let them think that way. Let them feel comfortable with you. Second, you have entertainers. They have a fear of being rejected or criticized. So you have to use enthusiasm. You have to, use some examples for them so they get on your service or product. You have detectives that they're all about numbers. They have a fear of being wrong. Use your product, your price, your performance, your percentages, how, it affected other people. You can get them. And lastly, you have counselors. They have a fear of change. These people, you need to be patient with them. You have to let them to make the decision slowly by educating them. I'm going to talk about this education. There are better ways than educating them and pushing them on the phone. One thing though, never give up. Never just say they didn't answer the phone, I'm not going to give up. 80% of the sales will be done after 17th call. Make sure to call them. Sales starts from the marketing. That's everything. Edu-selling. Educating people to buy something. What I call that is edu-selling, just because the sales will come if you can educate people on their needs, the benefits, slowly nurture them. There has to be an automated process. You have to leverage relationship selling through education-based marketing. Don't send them an offer right away. Understand what their needs are. Educate them. If you are using a powerful email system that is, fully aligned with your CRM, you have to make sure, spend some time, create some nurturing. The nurture should be based on the behavior of your leads. It should be, okay, if they went to this page, they had this question, send these series of email. Now, mark them. Marketing qualified, sales qualified, opportunity. If they're marketing qualified, they're still in the stage that you need to educate them about the benefits. If they show some behaviors, they become sales qualified, then you can start offering them something. And if they're in opportunity, all they need is a few testimonials. They will sign up. Time matters. Don't wait. If you're lucky, if you're one of the people they called, they definitely had the same inquiry from your competitor. Whoever contacted them first, whoever educated them first, has a higher chance to close the deal. Today, marketing automation is the king. For all you sales guys out there, make sure to educate people through ebooks, webinars, similar success stories before you start a sales process. In order to do that, you need to discover the needs. You need to figure out what are the solutions your services or product can offer them to address those solutions. Marketing automation expert makes your sales easy. Now, if there is automated marketing system out there that has been designed, has been coded, has been beautifully written based on your services, go for it. If it's not, take some time. Get a good system that has the powerful email system, create all these campaigns for you. And again, one thing, make sure to measure. Make sure to measure your success, and you have to make changes based on the numbers. Be a number person. Don't go based on your feeling. I feel this campaign is working. No, look at the numbers. Numbers never lie. So marketing is huge. You have to have the marketing will be a door opener for sales guys. If you educate them, they won't leave you. Educating your prospect is better than sales pitch. Now, here's my question for you. Are you an expert in your field? Do you feel you're expert? If you feel you're an expert, you can educate all these people. You know all these needs. If you don't feel you're an expert, you have to first educate yourself. Teach your prospect. People respect the one who teaches them. If you educate them on the benefits and your services, that will be equal to retention. People is not going to leave you if they know the fact what is in it for them, if they know the fact how they can possibly benefit from your services and they know what they're getting. And if they feel they don't, they're going to approach you and ask a question. Hey, I was hoping to get this, but I don't. The problem comes when people doesn't know why they sign up with you. At some point, they're lost. Now they're going to question. Quitting, it's a process of thought. Quitting from a relationship, from a job, from a friendship, doesn't matter what it is. It's a process of thought. It's not like we sleep tonight, we wake up tomorrow, you know what, I'm going to quit my job. No, there are some objections that is not addressed. If you educate people, that quitting will go down. You have to, look at your clients to see if they are engaged with your services. If not, you have to figure out why. Now, next slide. I got this question a lot from many of our clients, many of the people that, they work with me for sales. Who do we need in our team? That's a very good question because, as I said, your service is as good as the people who's providing them. Number one, you need communicators. Like we go to Starbucks, all the people who's working there, they're great communicators. They can hold the, communication. They have to be communicators. They have to be listener and educator. You cannot possibly have somebody who's not an educator in the sales department or is selling your services. You need people who believe in your organization and product. If somebody doesn't believe in your product and services, they won't see the value. They are not fit people. Make sure they know the value. You need people who want to be your clients, not to sell them. You don't want people like, I'm great in selling this product. I sold 20. Okay. So what do you sell? I don't know, man. I just sold. What do you mean? Like, how did you help these people? You need people who want to be your clients as well. Sales is all about relationship. You need people who believe in that. The people who have no fear to ask for money or credit card because they know the value. Some people are shy. Some people are not made to be a salespeople, right? Money and credit card is awesome if you're helping people. If somebody walks to you and say, hey, give me $500, I'm going to give you $2,000 and it's guaranteed. That's great. That's a great deal. So there's nothing wrong with asking money as long as you know the value and you honor your words. Now, a quick test that you can have for your team to see if they're ready to ask money or not is on a board, write from 1 all the way to 5,000, like 1, 10, 20, 40, 100, 200, 500, 1,000, 5,000. Then ask them, okay, think about me as one of the people who walks into our school, into our business, and think about what you are offering them. I'm going to point at one of these numbers, ask for that much money. They're going to say, can I have $1 for this lesson? Can I have $10? Can I have $20? Most people, their voices start breaking from 100. Those people are not ready. You need to create the value for them. The more you educate them about the benefits and the difference that you're going to make in people's life, they can start asking for 200 and then 500. The people should be able to ask for 5 times of your price based on what they're offering. If they can do that, if your simple lesson is 150, they should be able to ask for $750. Otherwise, they're not ready. If you're selling something for 5,000, they should be able to ask for 2,500. Otherwise, they're not ready. So make sure that your people knows the value first and they're comfortable to ask for money. Sales and marketing is all about target and goals. Set target. Set target, have people accountable. Have a board. Like have a board in your office. This is the target we need to have. Make them to go to the board, update the board with the number of the sales they have, with the number of the intro sessions they have, appointments, demo, however your business works. Just by the fact that they see it every day, they will be accountable. And if they're doing good, that's a extra motivation in front of everybody. They're gonna go, hey, you had one sale. Have a board, write down the target, make sure the goals are very clear for your staff. Otherwise, you can't expect them to hit those targets. Keep them and also yourself accountable. Never blame your staff, blame yourself. But keep them accountable. Appreciate when they're doing something great. Make sure to have a very appreciative culture in your office, in your business, that people like to be part of it. If you feel somebody's not a team member, they're not a best fit, right? You can have different level of the relationship with different people in your office. You can be friends with somebody or just or somebody's just going to be a business relationship. But at the end of the day, they need to be clear on what they need to do. They have to be praised when they're doing something great. At the same time, they have to feel accountable and get them to the point that they keep themselves accountable and they don't wait for you. The moment that your staff is doing that, that's the moment that your business will grow. Be a leader. Don't be a manager. A leader moves first. Managers sit back and start ordering people. Lead by example, right? Never blame other people. Blame yourself. When something succeeds, thank everybody. That's a leader. Reward them and reward yourself. Say, hey, today, if this week we get to this number, it's realistic, it's a smart goal. If we get to that number, we're all going to do that. If they do it for them. Let them be motivated. They have to share your goals. This is the goal of our business. I had a webinar on goals. People need to be clear on the direction of your organization. Talk to them about the goal of your business. Then they're gonna feel as part of it. They're not gonna feel they're only working for you. System and process is important. You need to have automation for your salespeople, for your marketing, for your retention. I'm not sure if you are using a system or you're not using the system. If you're not using the system, the biggest investment that you can have today is just have a system implemented, set up it properly. Never make your clients or your prospect repeat them again. If they already had a conversation with you, it has to be in your system. Your email has to be triggered based on that. Anybody who pick up the phone in your organization has to know all those. You need to have a marketing automation to educate all your leads. You need to have a task and to-do list for every single staff. Keep them accountable to finish those tasks. In the morning, make sure they're clear why they're going to do those tasks. If they're not clear, make sure to sit down with them. Explain them. Be a leader. What I would suggest is always have a quick meeting to review the goals and achievements. In the morning, 10 minutes huddle. At the beginning of the week, half an hour huddle. At the end of the day or at the end of the week, hey, these are the goals that we set. Did you achieve them? Why you didn't? Try to help them to achieve their goals. Nobody will win if you only blame them. But if you figure out like, okay, so you were supposed to book 10 appointments. Why you didn't? He's gonna or she's gonna talk about the problems that you have. Try to help them. Don't give up on people. If you feel it's not a team player, let them know. Hey, change your career. I've done that with many people. Said like, sales is not your thing just because of this. But help them to find what their thing is. You will always be rewarded if you care for people. So, yes, many times you will be disappointed. But in 1 out of 10 times that you will be rewarded, it's worth it. Care for people so people will care for you. Care for people so people care for your business. Don't just look at them as transactions. Now, that was the entire presentation that I had about sales. Now, if you have any question, you can type it in the question bar, and I will be more than happy to answer your question. Feel free to add me on Facebook or on LinkedIn if you have any other question. My email is Vahid at perfectmind.com. Send me any question that you have, and I'll be more than happy to answer that. Now, I'm just going to go over the question that has been asked and answer them one by one. Okay? Do you feel a 30-day trial devalue a club's service? That's a very good question. Before you get to the 30-day trial, you have to figure out if the person who's purchasing that has been sold the value of your service, or they're just signing up with you because of that 30-day trial. It is awesome that you have 30 days trial, so you show the confidence. Sure, you can have that. I recommended one of our clients to say, hey, charge $1 or $10 for the first month with the money back guarantee. If you don't like it, it's the same thing. But if they use their credit card, they're going to be more serious. But make sure before you offer the 30 days, don't sell it based on the 30 days trial. Make sure you address all the needs and also answer the benefits, talk about the benefits, then why not offer that? It's a great way to show your appreciation for people to walk in. That's if it's already known as part of the package, it's not disvaluing the service. But if you're playing with words, hey, can you sign up today? No, I have a problem with money. Okay, so what about just giving a free trial? That will disvalue the service. People feel they can bargain with you. I hope that I could answer your question. Mr. Cooper, what are some important questions you ask to a new client, 2 or 3 maybe for a martial arts school? It depends on the type of the programs that you have, sir. If you have a children program, I usually, for the very first question I would ask is, what made you to contact us? What is your goal for getting into the martial arts school? If it's parents, what is your goal to get your kids to the martial arts school? They will tell you what exactly they have in mind. Now, based on their answer, you can easily go over your list, talk about the benefits, and only talk about that. Don't just go beyond of we do this, we do that, we do this, we do that. Nobody cares about that. So my main question will be, what made you to contact us? What is your goal in 30 days or in 2 years in order to be part of us? And sometimes I'm going to ask this question, are you looking at this as a short-term solution, or are you looking at it as a long-term? Just want to see if it's a person who's going to stay with you for 3 years, or it's a person who's just going through a breakup and just want to go through 2 months of activities and to feel better. That's what I would ask. Do you suggest talking tuition price over the phone or during the face-to-face meeting? I personally think it has to be face-to-face, just because, again, you're offering a service. You're not offering a product. And people, when you're talking about the service, they have to see how beautiful your school is. They have to see how professional you are, how clean your school is. These are the impression that people will see it. On the phone, it's so hard to draw that picture for them. So I usually have a range. If they're pushing, you have to say, like, it all depends on what you need. We have from this to this. But again, I would love to sit down with you. Doesn't matter if you join or not. We actually go through some question and answer to help you on set your goals. Doesn't matter if you work with us or not. So they feel they're not obligated. They walk in. But when you're talking about the service, make sure every single thing in your presentation matters. Make sure your pro shop is clean. Make sure your floor and your waiting area is beautifully designed and it's very clean. The people, they have the nice uniform, nice present. Everybody's, look sharp when they walk in. They give the energy. Then people like to spend money with these type of environment. I would recommend to be face-to-face. Next question. Do you suggest talking tuition price? I answered this question. Do you think it's a good idea to give prices? Actually, two person asked the same question. Mr. Robinson, I already answered that question. I hope that's been helpful. What are some important questions you ask for the clients? I already answered that question as well. Will you email me your PowerPoint presentation? It's incredible. Thank you so much, Mr. Rickard. What we're going to do is we're going to send the recording. If anybody wish to have my presentation, you're more than welcome to have it. Send me an email at Vahid, VAHID @perfectmind.com, or you can search me on Facebook, hit me up on Facebook or LinkedIn. I'll be more than happy to send you my presentation and answer that. And before we finish, I just want to ask one question from everybody in the audience. How many of you guys are using a system to manage your sales and marketing today? If you can type yes or no. I just want to know the crowd that we are talking right now. Okay, this is great. See a lot of yeses. Perfect. This is great. Make sure to use it to the max, right? Make sure to find out what are different things that you can use, how you can be like sometimes you need to not be in your business, meaning book yourself for an hour every week. Just go to your peaceful place, whatever it is. It's Starbucks, if it's a coffee shop, if it's a restaurant, it's your backyard, whatever it is. Try to be the third person. Think about what changes you need to make in business. If something is not working in the business, just remember one quote. Change won't happen in results if you don't change in actions, if you don't make a change in actions. So if you do repeating the same thing and same thing and same thing, doesn't matter how hard you work, you won't get a result. If something is not working, make sure to change it. And then that will bring you results. And by being in the business, sometimes it won't work. If you're too busy with running the school, you're running your business, make sure to have somebody outside who can, give you their honest answer. right? With the people that I work with in the office, I see some of them like they're coming with amazing talent. I ask them, like an hour a week, 2 hours a week, educate yourself. And you will be surprised what type of results you'll get from these people. They're very smart. Don't think you know everything. Be open to get feedback, to get news, to educate yourself. And then think about what changes you have to make your business. What is your goal? What is your expectation? I don't see any other question right now. Okay. So if you have any other question, you can, as I said, you can find me. Thank you so much for joining me in this webinar. I hope that was 1 or 2 things that you could learn, and make sure learning is one thing, implementing it is the other thing. Make sure to keep yourself accountable to implement that. Thank you so much for joining our webinar, and like our Facebook to be updated with our